Well, let's go to Old Trafford, my friend, where the headlines were
There's
out.
never a dull moment.
There is never a dull moment at Manchester United. There's never a dull moment with Ruben Amaran as a manager. Manchester United have lost in the Carabao Cup against Grimsby in penalties. So, again, spotlight on Manchester United, on the team, on the goalkeeper, on everything to do with United. They're facing Burnley at home, and Ruben Amaran basically said, it's a game we must win. There are no excuses, were his words at the start of the game.
And you never hear a manager say that.
No. So why is he saying it then? What's it? What benefit?
There's a little bit of talk out there that he's close to like jacking it in a little bit,
which would be incredible for a manager in that club with the kind of contract to say they're walking away from the contract, they're walking away from a lot of money, but they just feel it's not right.
I feel like the emotion, the pressure is really getting to him after a very difficult and taxing and trying season.
6 months.
He's saying stuff like good times are on their way. He's signing players that he says himself, we're a different team now. I remember him saying that just before the season started. And then you go away and you get a result like Grimsby.
Yeah.
He's probably feel the world is closing in on him, and he's like, you know what, we got to win this game. And I'm thinking, but what if you don't?
Yeah.
Like, where do you go from here?
Whose benefit is it to say that? Is it a jolt to the players a little bit like, you know, you need a bit more? Is it him kind of putting out there to the ownership?
He has admitted, I am how I am.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say stuff.
Yeah.
I'm emotional.
Yeah.
And before we get onto the game, just quickly chat that, because
Yeah.
it's okay to be emotional as a manager. The very best are emotional.
Yeah, really emotional.
Crazy on the sideline.
Yeah.
Jurgen Klopp, emotional.
Yeah.
Difference is, press conferences.
Yeah.
They
don't give you any of that, do they?
Calm down.
And they don't give you a way for you to be asking questions about their team and about what's happening.
The sad thing is, because he's so open and honest, as a reporter, right? If I'm answering, I can literally ask him anything.
Yeah.
He's going to give me something honest.
Yeah.
That's just
that's
not a good way to be. And I know that it's great that we get that. But the big managers or the experienced managers are basically going to
talk without telling you anything. Talk without telling you anything.
Boring. And sadly he
is that something that he might have to change?
I don't think he's going to change. He said it's to say how I am. You know, sometimes I love the team, sometimes I don't like the team, sometimes this, that, and the other. He's letting himself be fully open. He's an open book about his emotions.
Yeah, I do get that. Let me just ask you the question. We must win. There's no excuses. I would almost say Sir Alex Ferguson would say that every week, whoever they were playing. So why, you know, because is he saying, no, because it's Burnley after the Grimsby, this should happen? Manchester United's ambition should be to win every game.
Yeah, but the way he said it, Rob, and the context that's around it, given what just happened in the Carabao Cup.
Like, if I don't get this
felt
one,
like
I'll
if we
have
don't win this, then there's no
go.
excuses, and I'm done. I mean, anyway, they did win.
Yeah.
Right, and we continue watching this thing, and I really hope. I like his honesty, and I like the way he's trying to build this team. I feel like recruitment has put him in a difficult situation, or he has himself.
Yeah, we don't know that.
Nearly 200 million,
$300 million on forwards.
On forward players, and which leaving big gaps in the middle of the park and the goalkeeper. Emi Martinez is strongly rumoured for tomorrow, the last day, to go to Man United. I mean, I think that solves a problem. I think he's a very good goalkeeper. Yeah. He's got a rick in him a little bit, but generally...
He's got the personality, hasn't he?
He's got personality to handle the job. Now, whether they find a central midfield player, I don't know. I fear that the money spent and the encouragement and the hope is all in those front players, and that the gaps and the cracks that are there are still there, and it might stop this thing from rolling forward with the hope and the anticipation that the United fans have got.
Is there no... We'll talk about West Ham later, but I think before the game today I said about, you know, there's a front three for West Ham that could score goals. They're top 10. The back three in midfield not good enough. And we saw a different West Ham today, and it produced a different result. Is there a way he could shore things up with this group of players? I mean, we don't know at this stage what's going to come in and out at Old Trafford. They sold Garnacho's got sold to Chelsea now. I don't know if that's going to release a little bit more money. They've still got a lot of players who they're trying to get out the door on good salaries who don't want to leave. But let's just work on the basis before the transfer window closes that he's left with this group. He's got to find a way to close things down.
I don't know, mate. We've seen months and months of this now.
So I had a thought last night, because like we're saying, okay, you need to go and buy one, and Balaba was the talk, and blah, blah, blah. Again, I'm just chucking this out there as a point. Is there anybody else in that group? I'm looking like, again...
What that can help them? This right there with them?
Yeah. Could Lenny Yoro play in midfield as a holding next to somebody? Just bear with me. So I've got three other sets. So I've got Mazraoui, I've got De Ligt, I've got Maguire,
yeah, you have, yeah.
I've got Martinez. An athletic midfield, who can see danger, who would track runners, who would understand the role, and he can play. He can bang a ball into midfield and get people to start.
It's not an awful shout.
So I'm not saying he's a solution, but he might plug a gap next to Bruno, or if it's not Bruno, Ugarte or Mainu.
Somebody.
But we keep seeing Man United, and we're midfield players, so we know the role, and we say, oh, he's going to run off him. Lenny Yoro would have the understanding he'd be more interested in running back and following him than running forward.
Correct, yeah.
So is there somebody in that group?
I don't mind that at all. Don't mind that at all.
Is he, Rodri-esque?
Yeah, well, also now the big problem is Mateus Cunha went off with an injury.
Hamstring.
Now that might mean that Bruno Fernandes can play higher. Again, this goes back to to replacing the whole of the front line. That's where Bruno is best at. Yeah, so now where is he playing? And I don't like him as a six, or as one of those two holding midfield. I just don't. No. So they didn't need to buy three. Bruno still should be playing up there, and somebody else should be in the middle of the park. But Lenny Yoro's not a bad shout. Never heard that before. Great shout from left field. I mean, maybe it's going to take a couple of us to get fit, but we haven't seen any hint from the manager doing that. But I think that's a good idea of something. If they don't find a player that might help.
Instead of keep going down the same route, Ugarte, Casemiro, then keep telling us it doesn't work. Okay, well, you got to find a solution,
and it helps build you a better foundation, Rob.
Correct.
A better
more
foundation.
Defensive.
And I know he's trying to play, and he's trying to get his system across there, and at times they're a little bit open, but a little bit more defensive-minded, reliable guy in there, I think would actually help. Yeah. We'll see how this continues, mate. And
so talking the game through, I mean, now you go ahead, they get themselves head through the own goal through Cullen, and then Lyle Foster ends up bringing them back into the game. A couple of minutes later, to be fair, and Burmo gets a nice goal, so the 2-1 up.
As well.
Then you're thinking, can we control the game? It doesn't seem to work like that, and then Jadon Anthony scores a good goal for
He scores
Burnley.
for them, and then he pulls Ahmad Diallo.
And it was a foul.
I think it was a foul.
He had hold of him outside the box, but he kept hold of him too long. Yeah. And then, I've got to be honest, Bruno Fernandes, who missed a penalty last weekend, remember Skyed one at Fulham, there was some pressure on him based on all that had happened during the week and the loss to Grimsby. And fair play to the captain. I know he gets a lot of criticism from a lot of people, but he didn't half hold his nerve.
He held his nerve.
It was a massive goal.
There was a massive goal, big celebration. Yeah. Some cynics out there saying, like Man United beating Burnley, like they celebrate like they won the World Cup. I mean, there was a big celebration, and I get it. And it is stumbling along a little bit, but that is a big goal. And we'll see. I just want to see the team, the next couple of months, Rob, you know what happens in Man United. If he has a couple of bad results now, the pressure goes back on again. And this would become untenable in the next few weeks if things don't get better. Yeah. There's got to be some improvement now. They have spent some money. I say there's holes in the team, and there still is, but there's still some good front players.
Some talented players.
So he's got to find a way, mate. However he does it, he's got to find a way to get some more consistent performance to keep the fans on board, because they're good fans, Man United. Yeah.
Absolutely, the fans have been incredible. Yeah. A couple of wins maybe.
But they won it. They won.
Could change things up, but as expected, there was no excuses. They got the win. They got the 3 points.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host of NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long, and for even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock.